Choose your Space Marine chapter. Blood Angels.
For the Emperor and Sanguinius.
Ultramarines.
Duty on
Crimson Fists.
The Emperor is our shield and our protector.
Iron Hands.
The flesh is weak.
Black Templars.
No pity, no remorse, no fear.
Marines Malevolent.
I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you!
Chapter selected. Choose your opponent. Space Wolves.
Welcome to Days of Lore. Do you want to be a part of Days of Lore? If you have a Warhammer 40k miniature that you want to show off to other people, send it to us through email, Instagram, or Discord, and we will use your minis in our video uploads. We want our listeners and viewers to be able to see what we're discussing, so if you want to help out or be featured as our mini of the week, send us pictures of your painted figures. Our mini of the week for this week is appropriately Orcs from Joe from Tennessee, who has painted some awesome death skulls. Thank you, Joe, for sending these in, and as always, if you want to be featured, send us those models. We want to see them. Welcome back, everybody, to Days of Lore. I am Ian, joined by Alex and Asher, as always.
Hello.
Hello.
And today, we are talking about the Space Marine chapters that have answered the call to defend Armageddon.
This is quite a laundry list of chapters here.
Yes, we are going to be going through a lot of Space Marine chapters today, giving you brief introductions into them. Some of them you may recognize from previous episodes. Others are very near and dear to our hearts. So I think this is going to be a fun episode. Not like a cohesive story yet, because we're just still setting the stage for this rescue mission.
Just a big old laundry list.
So, as a reminder, when Yarick's call for aid ripped through the void, one of its recipients was none other than the chapter master of the Ultramarines, Marneus Calgar.
Hey.
Yeah, we wondered what he was doing. Why wasn't he part of the 500 Worlds campaign? Well, it's because he's been nearby Armageddon. And when he got this call, he rallied the forces of Battlefleet Xerxarian of the Indomitus Crusade, Fleet Sextus, and called for a muster at the Forge World of Voss Prime. Boy howdy, more than 24 Space Marine chapters answered the call and pooled their strength in a matter of weeks. This new Liberation Task Force turned its gaze to Armageddon and made way under the code name Operation Imperador.
That's such a cool name.
Yeah, which, in High Gothic, you would pronounce it Imperator, but it just means Emperor. That's all it means.
Do we want to start with the most important boys?
Yes, we will start with the most important boys. So, today's episode is really us just going through all of the chapters that have answered the call, what they have provided, what they are sending to Armageddon, and notable leaders, what these chapters are known for. We'll explain their colors a little bit. Maybe in the episode, I will also show a little picture briefly when we introduce each of these. But that'll be crazy. I will need to write timestamps for that if I want to try that.
Fair enough. The audio listeners, this may be a visual episode. Starting
with the Blue Boys, our fan favorites, our company favorites, the Ultramarines. Marneus Calgar has some Ultramarines with him. They are the 13th Legion, their first founding chapter. They have sent 2 demi-companies, so not the most. Once they get to Armageddon, Marneus Calgar is going to be helping Yarick plan the overall strategy for everything. In his stead on the front lines, he has named Lieutenant Eothris to lead the troops, and he has given him the temporary rank, it's called a brevet rank, of Honor Captain. So Lieutenant Eothris can sit in on these meetings with all these other captains, but on equal footing. So I think that's a pretty cool thing that he's done. Lieutenant Eothris, also Asher, in case you did not know, is a character that we have already met in the Warhammer lore, not on this podcast, but he helped take place in the Plague Wars in 9th edition.
The Plague Wars sound familiar.
Is he out of the box?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
The Ultramarines have sent one strike cruiser, the Internicio, with the strike forces the Blades of Talisar and Iaxian Vengeance towards Hive Volcanus. Some squads have been sent to Phoenix Island.
That's an island we'll talk about later.
Yeah, some squads have been sent to Phoenix Island, but we'll talk about all of these different theaters of war in a later episode.
Up next, we have the Salamanders. They are the 18th first founding legion and or chapter. They have 6 companies that were sent to Armageddon, along with their chapter master, Tushan, and battle barges of Vulcan's Wrath and Pyre of Glory. So Salamanders, typically, their whole thing about warfare is fire. They use a lot of flames, a lot of meltas. They are a lot of on the ground, like chaff, like clearing type stuff. They're used to harsh environments, so Armageddon's kind of perfect for them. Elements of Salamanders are present near Hive Deathmire prior to Operation Imperator. Flameblade Strike Force Agatone land near Hive Volcanus. Strike Force Dracus is defending Hive Infernus. And an unknown number of Vanguard squads are still fighting in the Chataran's outposts. Now, we'll get to these places later. We're just kind of designating where these guys are, just so you know that if we mention them, you'll know that they're meant to be here. Now, Strike Force Tushan and Strike Force Dekelm land to defend Hive Infernus, while Incensius Spearhead Olkar arrived to support pre-existing Salamander forces near Hive Tartarus. There are squads of Salamanders also present on Phoenix Island.
Up next, we have the Black Dragons. The Black Dragons are an unknown but a possible Salamander successor chapter founded during the Cursed 21st founding. They are known for their defective gene seed that results in bones growing out of their forearms and heads. This chapter sent 4 companies and the strike cruisers Vehement Action, Stardrake, Ebon Flame, and the Obliterator. Captain Kazmar is leading the forces. There are 3 to 5 possible squads defending Victorianus Spaceport. Strike Force Tenebra and Hazard Squadron Gadrian arrive on Phoenix Island, an island that the Black Dragons have previously fought over in past wars and have been entrusted with its defense due to its valuable spaceport. Well, speaking of chapters that have fought in previous wars on Armageddon, up next we have the Celestial Lions, which is a chapter very near and dear to my heart, as it is my chapter. They were founded in the 38th millennium, and they are an Imperial Fist successor. The Celestial Lions are returning to Armageddon and have brought with them 1 company, and the strike cruiser, the Blade of the Seventh Sun, and 2 Nova frigates, the Narinth and Ibubesa. Strike Force Ngadwe is under the command of Lieutenant Ngadwe, and are deployed near High Volcanus at the mouth of the Mannheim Gap. The Celestial Lions are known to be expert trackers and hunters due to the abundance of wildlife and the biomes on their home planet of Elysium 9. And they are known for their dedication to defending the principles of the Imperium, sometimes to their own end.
Now, they've only sent 1 company. Why would they only send a 10th of their chapter?
So, you know how I mentioned that they were dedicated to defending the principles of the Imperium, sometimes to their death?
Yes.
They had a very large unlucky spell that I will be happy to cover in a future episode as to go into more depth. But they're kind of on the they're on the upshoot now, but they were kind of struggling there for quite a while.
Yes, I would love to have a chapter specific episode for all of the models that we paint. Well, along with the Celestial Lions, these guys have gone with them, are the Sons of Auror. These are red Space Marines with white pauldrons. They are an Ultramarine successor chapter. They have sent Demi Company Velos to land with the Celestial Lions near Volcanus. They are strict adherents to the Codex Astartes, just like their Ultramarine progenitors. But their spiritual primarch is Auror, an Ultramarine captain from the Horus Heresy. they have sent one strike cruiser, the Condemnation, to help with the Operation Imperator fleet.
Weren't these guys also in the 500 worlds?
Yes, they are very active in the 500 worlds as well. I think these are one of the shield chapters.
Yes, I was going to say they are one of the. I remember them as one of the shield chapters.
Wow.
So their logo is just the Ultramarine symbol upside down.
You mean the Omega symbol?
No. It's the Ultramarine symbol
Don't you mean the Ohm symbol?
upside down.
Up next, we have the Marines Malevolent. This chapter, we are unaware of what it has successed from. It is a successor of, we don't know. But it also has an unknown founding, so it's a very mysterious chapter. Now,
So these guys just showed up.
yeah. Well, Demi Company Umaz land with the Celestial Lions and Sons of Aura to defend High Volcanus. The Marines Malevolent are known for their overall aggressiveness in battle, and this brutality leads to a disregard for innocent life, collateral damage, and even damage to other battle brothers. Their battle doctrine, or lack thereof, has led to conflicts with many other chapters, most notably the Salamanders.
I can see how that would present a problem.
They come out of nowhere, they have no background, and they just start calling me names, dude. The Marines Malevolent have sent one company, and the strike cruiser Merciless.
Up next, we have the Necropolis Hawks. They were founded during the Ultima founding, and they are a Raven Guard successor known for their close quarters fighting in cityscapes. Strike Force Gamma has landed on the outskirts of High Volcanus. The Necropolis Hawks have sent 3 companies along with the battle barge Death Talon.
Asher mentioned the Ultima founding. So the Ultima founding is the founding that happened when Primaris was introduced. Typically, when a chapter was founded in the Ultima founding, it's strictly Primaris. There were no firstborns.
Are these the new Primaris that are being made at the time, or are these the ones from storage that are being brought out?
I'm pretty sure the Ultima founding is the storage ones.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Someone correct me on that if I am wrong.
Next, we have the White Scars, the 5th Legion, or the first founding chapter. They're known for fast assault strikes using bikes and speeders, and they have sent forth the Strike Force Endurance and the Scarblade Strike Force Baytir, and have landed near Hive Deathmire. The White Scars have sent the strike cruisers Nomad, Silent Horseman, and Lancer, along with 3 Brotherhoods, their name for companies.
Up next, we have the Iron Hands. They are the 10th Legion, or the 10th First Founding Chapter. They are known to replace their body parts with mechanical replacements, and they have a tendency to strike cold-heartedly and without remorse. They also tend to worship the Omnissiah like the Adeptus Mechanicus do. They do have elements present near Hive Volcanus. Ironstorm Spearhead Orkan arrives in the Fire Harbor north of Hive Hades. They have brought 2 clan companies to Armageddon with the strike cruisers Solemn Silence and Crimson Hammer.
Up next, we have the Red Talons. They originate from the second founding as a Iron Hands successor chapter, and they are known for their relished hunting of renegade chapters. Strike Force Incision lands outside of Hive Deathmire. The Red Talons bring 2 companies, along with strike cruisers Claw of Justice and Holy of Execution.
That's an odd name, Holy of Execution.
It reads really weird.
Who is Holy of Execution? Is it the shit?
The renegade chapters.
Yeah.
They're hunting.
Not the... Oh, yes. They're making them holy. They're putting holes in
Holy
them.
for execution.
Ooh, up next is the Emperor's Spears. They are a 25th founding chapter, and they are an Ultramarine successor chapter. Their Warhost Lord Trevane, and Warhost Lord is their word for captain, is leading his own strike force around the outside of Hive Deathmire with the Red Talons chapter, and the Emperor's Spears have sent 1 company along with the strike cruiser Cursebane. Ooh, very cool.
Next, we have the Subjugators. Now, they're part of the 23rd founding. They are an Imperial Fist successor, pretty obvious from their copy of the Fist logo. They use overwhelming force to crush their enemies, which makes allies wary to call for aid. They have elements present near Hive Volcanus, and Strike Force Dread Retribution has landed near Hive Infernus. The Subjugators have brought 5 companies, with a battle barge called Rift Warder, with strike cruisers Xanaxian Justice and Watchmaster.
Up next, we have the best chapter, the Black Templars.
We could skip this one.
The
It's not that
second founding,
important.
the best, the children of Sigismund. The best boys. They are an Imperial Fist successor. The Black Templars were already in the Armageddon sector when the orcs arrived. They've been fighting there. And although they were busy in the sector, High Marshal Helbricht still sent 2 fighting companies to Calgar's muster at Voss Prime. And, we're helping out. Heldstrom's Avowed arrived in conjunction with the Subjugators near Hive Infernus, while fighting company Abelard and Cooler's Valsworn are near Hive Tartarus. So 1 fighting company was already on Armageddon, which brings our total to 3 fighting companies, with the battle barge Sigismund's Fury and the Vanguard-class light cruiser, the Aquiline Eye.
I do think I will eventually paint some Black Templars just because they are... I have that Grimaldus mini.
Well, you already have some Black Templars in your force.
Yes, however, they are fully painted.
The Lionsworn.
The Lionsworn, yes. We have another Imperial Fist successor that was founded in the second founding, the Crimson Fists. The Crimson Fists sent many reserves, part of the 2nd, most of the 3rd, and part of the 4th companies, under the command of 3rd Company Captain Feridus Anto. Strike Forces Anto and Gorasso arrive near Hive Hellsreach. The Crimson Fists serve as the embodiment of the stubborn, unconquerable spirit of their progenitor chapter, the Imperial Fists. The Crimson Fists have brought 4 companies, along with the battle barge Insistence and strike cruiser Crusader.
So up next we have the Stormlords. They are from the second founding, and they are a White Scar's successor. Strike Force Cedrus has landed between Hive Infernus and Hive Hades. Task Force Adamantine Fist arrived near Hive's Hellsreach. The Stormlords are ferocious when it comes to hunting down Orc Waz, often going to reckless lengths to achieve victory. The Stormlords have brought 3 brotherhoods and a battle barge called Magnificat.
Next up, we have the Angels Eradicant. I like these Marines. They have a white torso, white legs, but black arms, black pauldrons, and a black backpack with a red Aquila across their chest. It's really cool. Other than that, there's no information on these guys. They are an unknown founding. They are an unknown successor chapter. Yet they have sent 5 companies to Armageddon. So there's that, along with the battle barge End of Days and the strike cruisers Righteous Justice and Finality. Their spearhead Savrak has landed near Hive Hellsreach.
I was going to point out that as we're working our way through this, we've got, the big names like Ultramarines, Salamanders, Black Templars, and then, they're like, oh yeah, we'll just send a couple, 1 or 2 companies, maybe if that. And then all these guys are just coming out of the woodworks. They're like the Angels Eradicate, here's 5 companies.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, I don't even know who you guys are or where you came from. It's just the weird, family member at the reunion that you're like, who are you? So speaking of sending a very large amount of companies, up next we have the Blackguard. They come from a second founding and are a Raven Guard successor, known for their strikes involving overwhelming firepower. Overkill is not a concept that they understand. Strike Force Ferrix lands outside of Hive Deathmire. Strike Force Diamond Spear supports the Iron Hands chapter in Fire Harbor. Shade Talon Valix land in Fire Harbor northeast of Hive Tempestora. The Blackguard are bringing 6 companies along with the strike cruisers Onyxus, Valiant Bulwark, Steel Talon, Pride of Orendi, and Shadow Warden.
Jesus Lord, that's a lot.
That's some, these, I've never heard of these guys before. And this is some crazy stuff.
And they look cool, too.
Yeah, so they've got their primary color is white. They've got a red, kind of a crimson kneecap. Their Aquila across the front is red, and they've got black shoulder pads and arms along with a black helmet. And their logo is a red circle with a white lightning bolt in the middle of it. These guys are really cool looking.
I rip off their logo, and underneath is a lightning bolt with wings. Angels Eradicant.
It really is just like the Angels Eradicant.
You talk about a lot. This is another level. So the Masters of Protolus are an unknown founding and an unknown successor. Another one, completely unknown. Strike Force Praesidius lands outside Hive Tempestora, while Strike Force Orvos arrives in conjunction with the Stormlords chapter outside Hive's Hell's Reach. Now, you think 6 companies is a lot? What about Masters of Protolus 7 companies with Battle Barge Emancipator and Strike Cruisers Punisher, Perdition, Vitrifier, and Virtuous Hatred?
Oh my god. They're just like literally coming out of the trees.
Another completely unknown chapter. We have no idea where they came from.
They got so many guys because they've just not been doing anything for however long they've been around.
Next up, we have the Space Wolves, the 6th Legion, first founding chapter, known for their barbaric, savage, and somewhat honorable culture. There are 2 to 4 squads fighting around Hive Acheron, but a massive force of Space Wolves have gone to the Deadlands near the Netheria Peninsula prior to Operation Imperator. That's where they were already in league with Yarick, making sure that we had plenty of water and promethium flowing from the Deadlands. The squads involved are the Black Manes, the Dusk Wolves, the Rune Marked, the Sons of Mordkai, and the Champions of Fenris. The Space Wolves have sent 5 great companies, the Battle Barge Axe of Russ, and the Strike Cruiser Old Fang. And we'll have to wait and see what has happened to the Ice Troll.
Up next, we have the Sons of Gilliman. They were possibly founded during the 33rd millennium, and they are an Ultramarine successor. Strike Forces Vespasius and Ember Sword arrive outside Hive Acheron. Rumors persist that they are codex divergent, but they fight much harder to prove them wrong. The Sons of Gilliman have brought along 4 companies, along with the Strike Cruisers Pacifier, Exculpator, and Sword of Presidia.
Next, we have the Nova Marines. They are a second founding chapter and are successors of the Ultramarines. Battle Group Honorum has landed with their brothers, the Sons of Gilliman chapter, to assault Hive Acheron. They specialize in anti-Xenos warfare. Gladius Strike Force Dominus arrives on Phoenix Island. The Nova Marines have brought 3 companies, with strike cruisers Corvo's Honor, Ceaseless Vigilance, and Spear of the Void. Now we get to the best chapter, the one that's on the cover.
The Dark Krakens are an Ultima founding south.
I was just going to say that it's cool that the Checkered Boys are fighting it up together.
Yeah. And they're like, who are you? Is that my commanding officer? Turn to your left so I can see your shoulder.
Yeah. I just now realized that.
Me when I'm
and
a blackguard
Marines
fighting with an Angel Eradicant. Let me see your helmet.
The Nova Marines were also at 500 Worlds, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, there should be a shield chapter.
Cool. All right. The Blood Angels. The Blood Angels are the 9th Legion, or the 9th first founding chapter. They are an honorable chapter, but they are contradicted by the curses of the Red Thirst and the Black Rage that they attempt to subdue. They are known for their fast assaults and their atmospheric jump pack strikes. Strike Force Raffion and Libera Assault Group Sindini, under the command of the 5th Company Captain Sindini, land near Hive Volcanus with their Ultramarine brethren. The captain in the Armageddon box, by the way, is Captain Sindini. So that is his official model. Squad Amidion, the 9th squad of the 5th Company, were the first Blood Angels to engage the Orcs at Volcanus. Blades of Afriel land in the Fire Harbor with the Iron Hands and Black Guard chapters. There are also squads present on Phoenix Island. Now, the Blood Angels have only brought 1 company and 1 strike cruiser, the Blood of Vengeance.
Next up, we have the Dark Krakens, a chapter that I have enjoyed painting a Terminator on. They have an awesome Kraken logo. They are an Ultima founding chapter, so that means they are only Primaris. There are no Firstborn of these guys. They are a Salamander successor. They prefer fighting large targets, and when one of them does something cool, they will paint special campaign badges on their armor in bioluminescent paint, so they glow in the dark. It's really cool. Strike Force Arxon has landed on Phoenix Island, led by Lieutenant Avalos. The Dark Krakens have sent 4 companies, along with the strike cruisers Eucharis and Fathom. Next up, we have the Penumbral Talons. This chapter is cool because they are actually a White Dwarf creation. They showed up in White Dwarf 515, and this was a chapter created by a Games Workshop employee named Tom. They are an unknown founding, but they are a Raven Guard successor, and they prefer to use small strike squads to lure targets into traps of tanks, gunships, and mounted infantry. The Penumbral Talons are not liked by other chapters due to them constantly sacrificing their allies to get what they want.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Kill teams are present east of the Morpheon line, and Strike Force Umbrox has arrived to support the Blackguard chapter in the Fire Harbor above Hive Tempestora. Squads are also present on Phoenix Island. The Penumbral Talons have sent 4 companies, along with the battle barge Midnight Hunter, along with the strike cruiser Chimeros.
Next, we have the Angels of Fury. We don't know much about this chapter other than that they are an Ultramarine successor and there's an unknown founding. But they did bring along 4 companies, along with a battle barge, The Last Word, and strike cruisers Nox Vindictus, and Gladius frigates Red Spear and Thetan. And their strike force Bellicus lands on Phoenix Island.
I really like this logo. It's very hot rod. It's literally the skull that you would see on the engine of a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, this does look sick. It's like a wing of the Aquila, just with the skull.
Up next, we have the Storm Giants. So they're another unknown founding, but they are a Salamander successor. They have 3 companies and 2 strike cruisers, Herald of Redemption and Deliverer. They are known for their high physical strength, even for Space Marines. Strike Force Jotun arrives in the Netheran Peninsula.
Next up, we have another one of my favorite chapters. A little lesser known chapter called the Hawk Lords. And they share my alma mater's colors. Tennessee Tech, the Golden Eagles. Possibly a second founding chapter. They are an Ultramarine successor chapter. They love Thunderhawks, and a really cool fact about them is they have a special jump pack called Hawk Wings that are strong enough to even hold a Devastator up in the air, so you can bring heavy weapons through the sky. Their Sergeant Veridon has led his squad outside Hive Hades, and the Hawk Lords have brought 3 companies, along with the strike cruisers Gildan Raptor and Imperator's Talon.
I've noticed that they're a Ultramarine successor, yet they use a modified Raven Guard logo.
Yes, how interesting.
Up next, we have the Imperial Harbingers. Founded in the 23rd Founding, they are an unknown successor, conceived as a replacement chapter meant to be on a continuous crusade. The Imperial Harbingers have Vanguard elements present near Hive Infernus. The Harbingers have brought along 1 company and a strike cruiser, the Dawnspite.
Man, some of these cruiser names are really cool. Dawnspite, I like that one.
These, I think my favorites so far have been the Blackguard strike cruisers, but all of these have just been absolutely insane.
Ebon Flame has stuck with me from the Blackguard.
Yeah.
Then we have the Raptors. So the Raptors are a second founding chapter. They are a Raven Guard successor, and they're known for their tactical and militaristic approach to battle, as well as individual approaches to tactical situations. They have elements present near Hive Deathmire prior to Operation Imperator. Strike Force Umbrax is defending Hive Deathmire, while elements are present near Hive Volcanus. The Raptors have brought along 3 companies with the battle barge War Talon.
Next up, we have the Silver Skulls, which is another second founding Ultramarine successor chapter that does not look like they should be an Ultramarine successor chapter. They specialize in siege warfare, and they have elements present near Hive Deathmire, and they were already on Armageddon before Operation Imperator began. But the Silver Skulls have committed one company along with the strike cruiser Spear of Destiny. These look like Iron Warriors. They look like Iron Warriors.
I was just about to say they look like Iron Warriors. They do not look like the blueberry golden boys of the Imperium.
There's
successor.
a lot. There's a lot of funny things about the Silver Skulls. In fact, like there's a whole bit in Infinite and Divine where people mistake Necrons for being Silver Skulls.
Well, lastly, we have the Skull Bearers. They have an unknown founding, but they are alleged to be an Executioner's successor. Now, the validity of that is unknown. It's kind of just speculative. But the assault group Calcis land outside Hive Tempestora with the Masters of Protolis chapter, and Strike Force Arcus are currently fighting in Hive Tempestora. The Skull Bearers have brought one demi company with a strike cruiser, Oz Furia.
That is such an interesting name for a strike cruiser.
It is.
It's just Oz Furia.
Yeah.
So looking at the Operation Imperator Order battle, it looks like the Skull Bearers they're the only ones with one demi company. Would you say that they would have like the least out of all of them?
I think, yeah.
With that being like I'd have to say so. With that just being the only point, I thought we had mentioned it before, but I guess we hadn't.
See, the Ultramarines
two
have
demi
two
companies,
demi
yeah.
companies. So I guess the Skull Bearers are just like the little brothers of the situation.
Well, that means if they have a demi company, which means under company, that means the Celestial Lions at least have a full company, or else it would have been notated differently.
Oh, right.
I was kind of nervous that they were like sending a company, but it was just going to be like whoever was left were just going back for the fun of it.
It's 3 guys. Yeah, guys, that's what we call a company. And it's like scratched off on their paperwork. It just is, it's like crudely written 3.
They show up on the battle barge, and it's just like 3 dudes, and like 2 of them are missing limbs.
We're at full strength, boys.
We're
Watch
back.
out for those orc snipers.
Well, looking back, because these are all the Space Marines that we have knowledge of. There might be more on Armageddon, but let's do 3 things. Pick your favorite Space Marine chapter based on the name, then pick your favorite look, and then pick your favorite ship name that they have sent.
So my favorite, because we're doing name, look, and ship.
Yes.
Okay. So my favorite name, it was a toss-up between the Penumbral Talons and the Necropolis Hawks, but I actually really like Necropolis Hawks. That's a really interesting name. Another way to say death. That's very cool. I think the look-wise, though, I actually kind of dig the Marines Malevolence yellow and black. And I'm also kind of interested in their whole, like, mean bullies that come out of nowhere, have no prior, history, and just bully everyone.
Good luck, everybody else.
Yeah. But my favorite name has got to be the Skull Bearers Strike Cruiser, the Oz Furia.
Yeah, that one is cool.
It's like such a unique name.
Asher, what are yours?
So I think that the Masters of Protolis have won both my chapter name and chapter look out of the group.
You, sir.
Just because I don't know, it's just something I love. Just the classic white and blue, and then that axe and the stripe on their helmet just looks really cool. And the Masters of Protolis just sounds amazing.
Yeah. Even though we don't know anything else about them.
Right, I was just about to say, like, that goes with they are just the dudes that came out of the backwoods, and they're just like, here's a bunch of dudes, let's blow some stuff up. And then my favorite ship name is from the Black Dragons, the Vehement Action.
I like that one. My favorite name, See, I really like the Masters of Protolis. I love their look and I love their name. They just look and sound so cool. Which I know I said I plan to paint one of them, but I might have to paint some more because I really like them. I really like the Dark Kraken. I think that's one of my favorite names. But I gotta give my favorite look to my boys, the Hawk Lords, just because I love purple and gold so much.
Tag it.
But I think my favorite ship name comes from the Emperor's Spear. Wait, no, it's not that one. I hate Cursebane. Cursebane is a cool name. My favorite ship name comes from the Imperial Harbingers, the Dawn Spite. I don't know, for some reason that one just stuck with me.
Now, I will say that the Imperial Harbingers were a runner-up for the name one for me, and then another runner-up for ship name was the Masters of Protolis Strike Cruiser Virtuous Hatred.
I like that one. And the Emancipator. That's a classy name right there.
The Masters of Protolis, they've just got, came from nothing, but they have everything going for them.
They know what they're doing. I also will say I like the look of the Black Guard.
Oh, yeah.
And Angels Eradicant is a cool name. There's just so many cool small chapters here that have committed 3 legions worth of Space Marines, and we're like, who are these guys?
You don't even go here. No, this has been really fun. This has been cool to really dig in and get to see kind of all the chapters in play for this. And like I said, I'm really excited for this episode and the next episode or so to actually be able to follow along with you guys now that I actually have the book for this.
Yeah, seeing what Marnius Calgar has been able to draw in just a few weeks to help defend Armageddon, it's a testament to his leadership.
But there's just so many chapters involved that it's really interesting to see all this.
That was something I had been thinking about was, we've talked about the defense of Cadia and, the Iron Warriors sweeping through the system and, the Imperial Fist showed up, to, fight them back. But it was really only one chapter that was there along with all the forces of the Astra Militarum. And with this one, they're just compiling, overkill is an understatement here, but it's probably not enough in some cases also. And there's just a large gathering. So I didn't know if this was a normal thing, but like I said, it's not.
I love it. I love Armageddon because it gives us stuff like this.
I think it's a great place for the wackiest battles to happen.
There are some very strange and bad things that have happened on Armageddon.
Yes. But just thinking about narrative wise, if you are playing a game and you've got 2 people who play Space Marines, you've got all these different chapters that are on Armageddon. Maybe people finally get tired of the Marines Malevolent or the Subjugators with inflicting too many casualties, or they don't like the Penumbral Talons. Maybe they get tired of them, so now these 2 forces are going to fight each other. There's reasons. And you can say we're fighting on Armageddon because we know that they're there. It's really cool.
Well, I also think it's great with the inclusion of so many of these unknown chapters that, with unknown foundings, unknown successors that have just shown up to join this party that can make way for, people's custom chapters that, they've homebrewed and built on their own to be able to walk in and have a place in the lore without, feeling like there's a barrier there.
This has been our episode over the various Space Marine legions that have answered the call to defend Armageddon. And like Asher said, if you have been inspired to paint one of these new chapters, then please send us a picture and we will add your model to our Model of the Week. And we love to see what you are making. Well, thank you for listening. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram at Old Days of Lore, and you can email us for any questions or to send in your minis at olddaysoflore@gmail.com. You can also find a link to our Discord in our YouTube descriptions, and we are also on TikTok, spreading the glory of short-form content. Alex is doing some great jobs editing those. I'm really liking those.
Thank you.
But until next time, thank you for listening to Days of Lore.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. this reading thing is definitely really hard.
Man reads for the first time.